That's right, folks. We have come to Wisconsin's weirdest attraction, the House on the Rock. This is near Spring Green, Wisconsin. We just passed Taliesin, which is Frank Lloyd Wright's most famous house that he designed. It's just down the road from this. The Frank Lloyd Wright School of Architecture was also down the road, but that has now closed. As we drove in the driveway, which is a long wooded driveway, and on either side of the driveway there's a bunch of these things. Yeah, it's weird. And as we drove in, Megan said, I just remembered how scared I am of this place. Okay, the House on the Rock has been in here a long time. Originally, the man who built it built a literal house on a rock. It's like a big rock tower, and he built his house on top of it. But he was also something of an eccentric collector. And there really is no way to describe this place to you without seeing it. It's very interesting and cool and strange. And yes, slightly terrifying. I don't know how to describe it. I tried to describe it in a previous video. We did come here fairly shortly before I started making videos for YouTube, but we didn't film a vlog that time. We hadn't started making vlogs yet. So we needed to kill time today and have something to do, and so we came here, and we're gonna make you a nice video about this place. This wild place. It's been here, I came here as a kid. They have added a lot to it since then. The nice visitor center that we go into first is new in the last several years. I think that was first there when I came with Andrew and Megan. Ben was too young to come with us, so that was probably, you know, more than a decade ago. And then the three of us came 3-4 years ago, maybe 2-3, I don't know. That's the last time we were here. So I've been here several times. It's quite the experience. Enjoy. Spook. So this part, when you first come in, you kind of park up here, like on the hill. It's very hilly in this part of Wisconsin. And this is kind of built on a slant. Keep going. This whole front part, this visitor center part where you first come in and where they have the museum dedicated to the man who built this, is new, relatively. It's another keep left. Oh, but we have to touch the door.
Oh, it's just in this back there.
Hi.
Have you already purchased your ticket?
No, we did not. You come in there, you go this way, you buy your tickets over here, you enter through there. There's this fountain here in the middle. Restrooms over there, and then the gift shop is over there. And there's a nice view. You can see kind of how hilly it is, and I'll show you that when we get out there. They do give us 4 tokens when we come in, like these, because there's all sorts of, I can't remember exactly, you do something with the tokens. One thing about this place is even the bathrooms are decorated. Like, this is the women's. Ben just came out of the bathroom and he said there's a giant ship in there. Oh yeah, this one has airplanes. Every bathroom in this place is in itself something of a museum. So we're leaving the lobby. Hang on. Here's the lobby. And then we're actually gonna go outside and down. Oh, do you want a map?
That's a good idea. Sure. Just grab one.
Okay.
That's really heavy.
Yeah, because this place is insanely huge. Okay. So we come out and we're like in this, it's kind of like a Japanese garden. This is the map. Oh, it's upside down. This is the map. So section 1 is the Asian garden, the Alex Jordan Center, the Gatehouse,
Or you can make
the original house, yep, and the infinity room. Section 2, oh, that says allow 45 minutes. Section 2, it says allow 1 to 2 hours, which includes the Mill House, the Streets of Yesteryear, Heritage of the Sea, Tribute to Nostalgia, Atrium Restaurant, Music of Yesterday, Spirit of Aviation, and the Carousel Room, which is quite the thing.
Oh,
Section 3, it says allow 1 to 2 hours. That includes the organ room, Inspiration Point, the dollhouse room, the circus room, the galleries, the doll carousel building, and the Japanese garden. Okay, so this is the Asian garden, not to be confused with the Japanese garden, which is later. So we were up in there, and now we're down here. There's all these nice, soothing fountains. If you choose to come here, you need to be prepared for lots of walking. Wear comfortable shoes. It's probably not the best for people with mobility issues, the elderly, or very small children. So we're entering the Alex Jordan Center. This is something that they added in recent years. It's like a museum of Alex Jordan, who is the gentleman who built this place, or built the original house on the rock. So there's a film.
How Alex obtained the revenue needed to continue his construction. Admission funds were put right back into the house. Alex had no other source of income. He built aggressively while constructing the house, always working with the contour of the rock, even incorporating existing trees. Finally installed, and Alex began collecting powerful holes in glass lamps.
I do like these windows. Those are really cool. See, this is the picture of the original house on the rock. So this part is basically a museum.
Oh, like information.
Yeah, about the history. We went through here very slowly last time and took our time reading all of it. So we don't really need to do that again. Oh, I do like doll houses.
Did you just enter now?
No. I always liked these when I was a little girl. I used to have, I think I had 2 different doll houses when I was a kid. I think we keep going this way. I don't know why that door's there. Oh.
Dumpty does not work anymore because of social distancing and stuff.
Bummer.
Social distance. Yep. We're using glass.
Okay, here it says, continue here. Do you want to go up in that part? Oh, that's right. We have to follow the arrows. Good call, Meg. We have to follow the path. It's another little film you can watch over there. This is the infinity room, which we will be coming to shortly. There's some restrooms here in this part. There were also restrooms in the lobby. Ah, yes, there is an extensive circus collection. Okay, so we're just following the one way thing. Oh, we have a little bit of a backup. So we have to maintain our social distancing. So this is where he does have a lot of boats too. He has a lot of ships.
Planes.
Yeah, he liked vehicles.
Yeah.
And then most of the original house is made out of this
Kind of brick.
stone stuff. Yeah, like the stone and the wood. Oh, look at this one, guys.
Wow, that's a lot of
Oh,
oars.
I didn't even think of that.
That is a lot of oars. Or
Wow, look at the intricacy of the carving of the wood. This thing is huge. It's a dragon boat.
like, look how many panels are here.
Yeah, that's a lot of oars.
Oh, you're fast.
Or well, this is the gatehouse. Look how low it is. The original house is kind of claustrophobic. So there's bookshelves here and dark. But this is the gatehouse. This isn't actually part of the house. So there's steps and it's low.
So interesting.
And weird music, yep. He built this in the 60s, 50s. And we're gonna have to wait because we got folks ahead of us. This is part of the reason I said it's not good for people with limited mobility. There's lots of steps. Where does that go, Meg? Do we go that way? Oh. We decided to take the shortcut and skip. It would come out there. We skipped like the kitchen part. Okay. So we're back outside by the gardens. There's a big long thing out here. So as you can see, we're pretty high. It's two-way traffic, so we have to keep right. The ramp is pretty steep. We came from down there. One thing, you could come here when it's raining because you're pretty much undercover the whole time. We are pretty high, aren't we, Meg? Do I want to look?
No.
All right, this is the original house.
Saying that I want to get another picture for height.
Megan's showing how low it is. He must not have been a very tall man because Andrew would have to duck.
That's not good. Literally in the rock, not on the rock.
Yeah, and Ben was just saying it's actually in the rock, not even just on the rock. The rock is right here. There's all these interesting windows. People? Okay. Yeah, if you're really tall or claustrophobic, you won't like this part. But it's just the original house that's like this. The rest isn't as bad. And Megan's right. It does smell really weird in here. Okay. Now we're at the infinity room. Okay, we're gonna go out there. This is a picture of it. I will warn you, on a windy day, it moves.
This is where I always stop.
Ben said this is where he usually stops. It's right here.
And I never passed this point last time.
Okay, I'm gonna go as far as I can. Okay, here I am. I'm doing it. I'm trying not to think about the fact that I'm above nothing. Oh my gosh. Look at the view. See how they make it so it looks like it just goes on forever? See up here? That's glass so you can look down. I'm trying not to freak out. I can do it. I can do it. I can do it. I can do it. Okay. I'm gonna let the camera look for me. See, we're above the trees. Yay! It keeps going. Okay. Going back. It's not moving today. After the infinity room, you re-enter the main house. Look at these things. Just
It's giant.
what are those things called?
Oh, I know what it is.
Yeah.
Like a... I don't know.
Oh, I should mention that just before we entered the main house, they checked our ticket. There's a, you know, just random dragon in the dark here.
I think these play, but they don't have the coin thing. Or whatever.
Yeah.
You have coins for...
We have tokens for musical things. We're gonna save them because we only get 4. And there's a lot of places you can use your tokens. Can you buy more tokens?
Yeah. 500 pesos? No, they're over there. I thought this was a staircase by itself.
Oh, weird.
I know. This is kind of pretty.
Yeah.
It reminds me of that one scene in the 3rd Chronicles of Narnia. Even though I'm not claustrophobic. Like, I'm not claustrophobic.
What would it be like?
Gosh, spider person.
Do we know, did he actually live here for a while? He did, didn't he?
Lived in Burma.
But then like people kept wanting to come see it.
Yeah.
And then he had to like move away because it just became a tourist attraction and he couldn't live in peace, I think was the deal. And now we go back outside. And that's the end of the house.
It's very big.
No, it's not that big.
It's just a house.
And we're up very high. It's hot out. We just came down these stairs. This is where we started in the main house. And now we're back to this. That was section 1. Yep, so we're done with section 1. And now we're heading to section 2. This first section is the smallest of the 3. You can see people walking through the kind of maze of covered walkways. Okay, we're now proceeding to sections 2 and 3. There's a mill here. Okay, do we have to open a door? Uh-oh. Oh, this is the mill house door. Push to open. Interesting. Okay. The lady, oh yeah, you gotta see these bathrooms. Just go peek at it, Ben, it's bizarre. Oh, here's where you can buy more tokens. But, oh, and it says they provide tissues, so you don't have to touch. This is the women's room here. I love this wall of glass stuff. I just think that's so cool. To the streets of yesterday. This has always been one of my favorite parts. So here we are in the streets of yesteryear, or yesterday. There's a farmhouse. My grandma had a washing machine like that, if you can call it a machine. There's the clockmaker's shop. See, here's the overview.
The one thing I don't like about it here is that it's inside. The ceilings.
Well, it's kind of like the Mexico Pavilion.
It is.
It's to make you think you're outside at night,
Like that either.
but you're actually inside.
It makes me feel trapped.
So it's like you're on a street with shops.
There's a trash can.
Here's the fine china. Wow, sparkly.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, that's the right one. Look at that.
Yeah.
That's like...
So a little popcorn and peanuts.
That's cool. Peanuts for baby boots.
Like an old theater.
Yeah.
Okay, so I know that this thing at the end here, the gladiator, is one of the things you can use your token on. Oh yes, the heritage of the sea. I like this part because there's a lot of ship models, but there's also a very big scary giant whale. Oh yeah, it's like a whale fighting with a squid. I know, I'm very hot. My mask, I'm sweaty under my mask.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah, if you like ships, you'll like this part. It's hot in here, and it's dark.
There's the squid.
Yep, so here up ahead of us,
Oh, it's that, but bigger. Yeah.
there's a giant
There was a little model back there.
whale fighting with a giant squid.
There was a little model of it back there.
And that poor fisherman is caught in the middle. And then this whole thing all around here, all the way up, is extensive models of ships like this. They're really cool, actually. This one has polar bears because it's stuck in the ice. If you're a fan of like naval history, you'd probably find this part really interesting because there's just a ton of ship models. But this, Megan does not like this big thing in the middle.
I don't like this too much. No.
It is quite alarming. See, here's the eye of the great squid. Up here, we have,
I really like this music.
the Titanic. We're right by the mouth of the whale now. So you can see we climbed up from down there. You can go around. And here's the Titanic model. Meg, stand next to that so they can see how big it is. It's pretty big.
Really cool.
It's the moment it hit the iceberg. Now for the train fan. We've entered the train section. So these are Burma shave signs. These used to be on the side of highways. My dad remembers this. So as you'd be driving along, you'd pass one of them at a time. So you would have been driving along and you would have passed the sign that said he lit a match. And then a little while later you would have patched this one that says to check gas tank. And then you would have passed this one that said that's why. And then they call him Skinless Frank, Burma shave. And you would pass them over a period of distance as you're driving down the highway. And they were just clever little funny stories to attract your attention. And that was Burma Shave's ad campaign. Like, he saw the train and tried to duck it, kicked first the gas and then the bucket. Okay, this is the part where we start to get into where you can, there's lots of stuff to use your tokens. Oh, nice breeze there. Yeah, maybe they're trying to prevent people from having to touch them. I don't know. Or somebody people ahead of us might have used their token and walked away. Yeah. So these are all these freaky big music machines. And you can use your token and make them play. We're trying to go through quite quickly because we've seen it before and we keep getting stuck behind people that are like, taking pictures of every single thing. And we're very hot. I don't think this is air conditioned.
No.
Well,
there are fans?
There are vents, but it doesn't seem like, it just isn't cool at all.
Oh man.
Again, lots of stairs. Be aware that there are a lot of stairs.
There was an elevator.
Was there? Oh yeah, there's an elevator. But I don't think every part has elevators.
That's true.
Yeah. Look at this amazing collection of these are cash registers.
Oh. Weird.
How fancy.
From like every year, but they're very fancy.
We were just discussing that it's kind of weird. The floors are very uneven and sometimes the walls are carpeted. And Megan said, maybe that's so if you trip and fall on the uneven floor, you won't hurt yourself because you'll land on the carpeted wall. This is like, it's like we're on a street again, like looking in somebody's window.
Oh, well, look at that chipmunk. Like window shopping.
Oh, wow, that's cool.
It's like examples of all the stores.
Stores, like this is like an eye doctor.
Those are very small boxes. Oh man, that's creepy. Were the people back in the day just small?
Yes, they were. We are taller than people used to be because of better nutrition.
Oh.
And because we have medicine now and we don't die of diseases when we're 30.
Oh, good.
So it's just lots of winding around.
Oh, pretty. Are we still in section 2?
I don't know. Let's see.
Red room.
Good question.
Here's the carpeted walls.
Oh yeah, here's the look at this. This is all red
And now it's carpet
plush
on the floor, too.
carpet. Here's one of the big things you can play with your token. So you can put your token in there and then all this stuff will come to life and play music very loudly.
And oh my
Look at that chandelier. Holy moly.
hear music right now from other rooms.
Yeah, you can.
Oh, there's a penny machine.
Oh. Press penny machine. Random bench in case you need to rest. Entering the Spirit of Aviation, which is near the end of section 2. And again, remember there are 3 sections. There's another set of restrooms. So there's just all these airplanes on the ceiling, kind of like. Coming to what is probably the most significant thing in this place, the carousel. Can you hear it? We're coming to it. Carousel room, you come into this. This is the organ room. I don't know.
We're only in section 2.
Yeah, but I think this is section 3 now. And we're in the organ room.
There's a stairway bypass.
I don't even know.
Let's use the stairway bypass.
Let's use the stairway bypass?
We don't want to go.
Yeah.
Oh, but that's kind of... The stairs are scary.
This is... I just don't even... There's no words to... I don't know what way I'm supposed to be going.
They were supposed to go this way.
Yeah, okay.
Carpet.
You leave the organ room. You come down here to this part was added, I know, later. This is Inspiration Point. And there's a little cafe down here, but I've never actually seen it open. Yeah, it's not open.
What the heck are those fans?
Oh, weird.
What the?
It's not open now either. But here, let's go outside. Yeah, and there's another set of restrooms here. The restrooms are actually pretty frequent. So there's plenty of restrooms, and they do have water things if you need water. And then you can go out here and you can see the bottom of the infinity room. If I remember right. So we came out of there. Here's just this random giant boulder.
Oh, it's dead end.
Yeah, but yeah, you can. There's the infinity room up there. So that's where I walked out on.
You can hear the stuff in here.
Yeah, you can hear the music even out here. And in case you didn't think it was creepy enough yet, there's this. Oh my gosh. It's just a giant collection of creepy. Oh wait, here's the dollhouses. These are actually quite cool. Some of these I think are really neat. This is pretty. So you can see inside them. There's a whole bunch of them. If you go to Circus World in Baraboo, they have a whole bunch of these. Circus models. Circus train.
I don't appreciate those.
Sometime we'll go to Circus World in Baraboo when it's actually fully open again. Lots of circus stuff. We're starting to walk faster because it's really hot and we kind of feel like we're gonna pass out. This place never ends. Like, it feels like it's never gonna end.
Oh, no.
It just keeps going and going and going. Oh no, the kids. What now? Oh my gosh, there's more. More circus. Oh, look at that paddle wheel boat. Lots more circus. If you like circus stuff, here you go.
Okay.
There's a model of a wooden roller coaster.
Oh, no.
Oh dear God.
Let's go.
Elephants in a tower.
You're standing on each other.
Yeah.
That's unsafe. Who doesn't want to get sick?
More circus.
There's tons of play with the books.
I mean, if you're really into this stuff, you could spend a very long time in here and would probably super enjoy it. It's just, it's so much, it's overwhelming. And it just keeps going.
Like, did he make all of this?
And going. No, I think he collected it and bought it from places. It just keeps going and going.
Sandy said that this was 2 levels. So.
2 levels? Oh. Yeah, there's lots of this. There's lots of ramps. Your calves really get a workout.
After the 2nd level, we're just going to the galleries and then past the doll carousel building again.
Okay.
And then we're done.
And then we're done. We came out of there and we wound around this. And now we're to the Japanese garden, which is the last thing. It's really pretty. Hi. We survived. We're better now because we're back to the car and we have air conditioning. It was really hot in there. We were really sweaty. We're pretty sure that except for the initial part with the lobby and the like museum part, that's the only part that's air conditioned.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever been here in the summer. The last time we were here was like early March, maybe mid-March. And then the time before that, it was like October. And both of those times was perfectly pleasant temperature-wise, but this time we were just really, really hot. And the parts that aren't the, you know, the new lobby museum and that aren't the original house, all the rest of that is actually in metal warehouse, like pole buildings. And so I don't think there's any climate control in there. Some places we did notice there were ceiling fans, and sometimes you'd see fans like just sitting on the floor.
It didn't do much though.
Yeah, so I don't think there's any, it was really hot in there. I mean, it's worth visiting. It's a really interesting, neat, bizarre place. It is big and it takes a long time to go through. I mean, we went through fast because we have been there before and we weren't stopping and looking at every little single thing like you would be if you're visiting it for the first time.
I can mark the time. this isn't how long we were in the actual place, but from the time we got into the parking lot until we got back to the car was about an hour and a half. So it wasn't
That's
long.
it?
That can't be
That
right.
can't be
Wait.
right. It was like 2.5.
Didn't we come out at 2:36 though?
I don't know.
Came out at like 2:36.
It's 3 o'clock now.
This is when we went in. We were sitting in the parking lot here.
Oh my gosh. It felt like so much longer.
It was only an hour and a
It felt like so much longer. Okay, they say, the recommended times that they say 45 minutes for the first part for section 1, which that's about right, but we probably did it in about 20 to 30.
Yeah.
They say 1 to 2 hours for section 2 and 1 to 2 hours for section 3. So minimum they're saying like 2 hours and 45 minutes, and we did it in probably less than 2 because we were cruising. But then maximum that would be like almost 5 hours you could spend in there, and you could easily do that. If you've never been there before, and if you were like one of those people that was in there with us that were stopping and taking pictures
Of
of
literally
every
everything.
single thing, and I just don't think they realize how much there is. It just goes on and on and on. I remember this one time I was telling the kids, there was one time my mom and I were there with Andrew when he was little, and we got to about like the organ room, and we started like hysterically laughing because we were like, we're never getting out of here. It just feels like it's just endless, and it just keeps going. And Ben was asking like, what was his inspiration for collecting all this stuff? I think it does explain it in that museum part.
But we sort of breezed through that too.
Yeah, because we spent a lot more time in there last time we were here a couple years ago, and so we just kind of wanted to get the gist of it today to film it for you guys. They did have water stations. There's plenty of restrooms, plenty of opportunity to wash your hands or to use the restroom if you need to. More than I remembered. And they did have some like hand sanitizer stations too. They were thoughtfully thinking of that. And you could social distance. Because the place is so big, you would get spread out quite easily from the parties in front and behind you. There were a couple times we'd start to clump together, and then as soon as we could, we'd just pass people.
Yeah.
So that wasn't really a problem. It wasn't like it was at the zoo,
No.
where it was very difficult to, you know, you were still doing the same thing. You were on a one-way route, but it's such a long one-way route, and I don't think there were anywhere near as many people here today as there were at the zoo on
Right.
when we were there. So
There were more people here than in the last time we were here.
yes, there were more people here today than there were when we were here that time in March. You're right, Ben.
Last time there was barely anyone, and I think that might be just because it was so cold and
Yeah, people don't think to come to a place like this. I don't think people were vacationing at that time of year, and it is quite off the beaten path. You have to know exactly where this is and how to get to it, because it's not something you just
stumble upon
or drive by. You have to be like going there specifically. Like I just looked, I'm basically gonna have to backtrack the whole way I came, an hour drive on 2-lane country roads just to get back to the interstate. I mean, the closest big city is Madison, if that helps you. I just want to say again though that if you are elderly, or you know, you need help walking, or you're in a wheelchair,
This really
I
isn't the
would
place
not
for you.
recommend it. It's going to be really, really difficult just because of the length of the attraction, and
all the
because
stairs and steep ramps.
Yeah.
I mean, the three of us are completely exhausted and our legs feel like they're going to fall off.
And we're pretty young and fit.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's a lot of up and down, tight spaces, lots of steps. So just keep that in mind if you're going to go there. And another thing, just given the world situation right now, little kids were definitely touching everything and like running their hand along the railing as they're walking and stuff, and we see that and we're just like, don't touch it, stop touching it. If you have little kids, they might find it really fun and cool. I heard one kid, like, I don't know, maybe like 9-10 years old, in the ship room with the whale and stuff, go, this is awesome. Like, some parts of it kids are gonna think is really cool, but they might have a hard time with not touching stuff. There's a lot of interactive things in there that they're actually giving you to touch. There might not be a way to stop them from wanting to do that, buttons to push and things like that. The other thing is, a lot of it is quite creepy. It's got some very scary, like it's something you'd see in a nightmare. If, you know, dolls, that organ room is like, it's just so weird, and it's kind of scary. And if you have like a sensitive child who is easily frightened, you might not want to take them there, because I mean, it's just kind of bizarre. And
there's
clowns, dolls.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's worth going to, but just keep these things in mind if you're planning on visiting the House on the Rock. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you haven't yet subscribed to our channel, please support the channel by subscribing. And if you liked this video, be sure to give us a thumbs up down below. Thanks everyone. Safe travels.
Safe travels.